Good morning.
Hey.
Come into my new home.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Jose. Thank you. Hi, I'm Toni White, Executive Assistant and Office Manager, Cleveland Neighborhood Progress. I engaged CFC in my financial educational journey in August of 2018. I had about 5 credit cards that had balances on them, and I wanted to get my financial literacy improved. My initial goal was to get out of debt, improve my credit, and be in a position to buy a home, hopefully by the end of 2018. My first contact was Sherry. She told me how to reach out to NHS, and I did. I reached out to NHS. I enrolled in the the home education buyer course. I enrolled in that, and then that's when I met Jose after I entered the home education buyer course. It was a big commitment of time, but the home education buyer course covered everything that's associated with buying a house. After I finished the course, I met with my financial counselor, and I was not ready to purchase yet. She told me I had to pay down a couple of credit cards. So instead of paying them down, I paid them off, went back to the financial education counselor, and she gave me my certificate of completion, which was about 2 months after I completed the course. I want to share that although you go through the home education buyer course, most of the time there's work to do and to just be patient. I'll share that one of the great things about the home education buyer course is the ability to maintain financial responsibility and stability. Getting out of debt, when I look back on my experience of paying off credit cards, putting money in the bank, watching my credit score, it reminded me of a horrible relationship. That horrible relationship of too much debt, no money in the bank, afraid to answer the phones, being inundated with letters from creditors is like being in a bad relationship. And now that I am maintaining financial responsibility, I'm out of debt. The 5 credit cards that I paid off still have a 0 balance, even after buying a house. I don't ever want to go back to being in that type of situation again. It's like being in a bad relationship. I don't want to go back to being in a bad relationship with debt ever again. One of the things that I learned from my financial coach that was real beneficial to my real estate transaction was about the mortgage, the interest rate. There was one part of the home buyers education course that really stood out to me when a representative that had completed the entire process came back and spoke to the class about her journey and how much it really is an emotional roller coaster, but you have to persevere. My deal closed from first contact to close took less than 30 days. My interaction with my financial coach just gave me a lot of wisdom, made me aware of the realities. And like I said before, you have to be patient. You can't rush the process. If they tell you to go back and get something in order, it's for your good. But Jose Colon worked with me in the formula on how much of a mortgage that I could afford. And I stayed within that financial limit. Although I was qualified at the high end, I didn't want to mortgage myself out. the requirements that different lenders have in order for you to qualify for a loan. One lender that I went to, I was trying to buy a home before the end of 2018. The lender that I went to before the end of 2018, I did not meet all of their requirements. There were challenges with the lender that I closed with because they were not familiar with our organization's employee benefit. So that was a bump in the road too. But in spite of the hurdles and obstacles, we still closed in about 30 days. My credit score when I first went through home education buyer course was like around 650. By the time it came for me to take the loan, it had increased to a little over 700. But a 650 credit score is acceptable to a certain degree. But even at a credit score of a little over 700, there were still obstacles. So I want people to know that 650 to 720 is workable, is doable, it's acceptable. It'll get you a decent mortgage rate, but there are obstacles. My long-term plan is to be financially responsible and pay that bill every month, but I want to stay out of debt as a homeowner. I want to continue to build my savings. The savings that I had prior to being a homeowner, I have not dipped into it. So I want to build my savings, pay my bills on time. That's what my immediate goal is. My major advice is don't give up. Have a budget, work your budget, and don't go outside of your budget. And another thing I wanted to share too about home ownership, you have to, even though I have a savings, have money set aside for everything. Everything has to have a warranty. Your home warranty, you have to pay for that. If you get appliances, you have to have warranty on your appliances. All those warranty items are $250 to $350. That's extra money coming out of your paycheck. You have to allow for that. You have to allow for an emergency. You gotta have at least $3,000 or $4,000 in the bank for an emergency. Anything can happen. The reason why I chose Slavic Village, number one, is because I am a former resident that rented in Newburgh Heights. Newburgh Heights is less than 2 miles away from Slavic Village. What attracted me to the neighborhood was the development that I bought in. I never, ever thought in my entire life that I would be able to own a new construction. As an employee of Cleveland Neighborhood Progress, all employees have a benefit available to them for down payment assistance. So that was very, very, very helpful. That $5,000 went toward the down payment. So that made me really have a decent down payment. I got 5% from OFA, 5,000 from Cleveland Neighborhood Progress as an employee. Your efforts have allowed me to go beyond anything that I ever thought was possible in owning this home. Thank you. I just want to acknowledge, with the help of CFC, they allowed me to remain steadfast on my journey to home ownership. This is my house. I love my house. Everything about my house I love. It's perfect. It's big enough for me. It's all about me from this point on. And I am glad that I was able to maintain financial responsibility to be in a position to own my home. And now that I own my home, at the time that we're shooting this video, my first mortgage payment and all the responsibility that comes along with being a homeowner is right around the corner, and I am in perfect position to make that first payment. And to be absolutely honest, I can't believe I'm excited about doing it.